right, episode, I don't know. I'm never prepared what episode this is of Horsemen Academy. I have a special guest who I've been chasing down now for, it's got to be at least 3 months.
That is.
Been giving, what, you ain't even supposed to be talking yet. Been giving me to run around for at least the last 3 months. Colleagues of Aisha Shelton from Park Street and Aisha Shelton team and Braden Real Estate Group. Oh no, what's the formal name? Is it Braden Real Estate Group or what is it?
It is Braden Real Estate Group.
So I got it right. Okay.
You did get it right.
And I'm not gonna use the name that she has on Instagram. I'm gonna use her professional business name today.
Thank you.
Please, Nicole Handy, welcome yourself to Horsemen Academy.
Thank you so much. I am so delighted to be here.
No, we appreciate it. So just give the people a little bit about yourself before we get started. Again, the Academy is an opportunity for us to give people actionable items.
Okay.
I wanted to have a woman CEO here today to talk about what's happening in business, what's happening in market, and then just what she's been doing in the content creator space as well, because she's been able to take a lot of the details from her business and turn that into content as well. And we want to talk about those details. So please give people some of your information.
Hey everybody, my name is Nicole Handy. I am the co-CEO of Braden Real Estate Group. I proudly say that we are a women-owned, black-owned business.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. So we started in 2019, and when I say co-CEO, because my first cousin.
Yeah,
you know?
which I'm familiar with as well.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we wanted to be putting our business out in the streets also, you know. But a former Sooner, also, friend of mine, shout out Jamisha. We appreciate you making this connection for us also.
Absolutely, yeah. But she's my first cousin, and so her and I are co-CEOs of Braden Real Estate Group. We started our business in 2019. Roughly today, we are in 2 cities, Houston and Dallas, and we have roughly, and y'all know with real estate agent sponsorship, the number changes all the time. Last I checked, we were at 87 sponsored agents.
Oh wow, 87. So the last time I talked to y'all, we're like 50.
Mm-hmm.
So how has this growth been through COVID? And I know I'm jumping a little bit, but that's interesting. Y'all were able to grow during COVID also.
Yeah, honestly, believe it or not, as a CEO, right? Sometimes you just jump into business because you want to be in business, right? Sure. And not because you have all the strategies, the fundamentals, and things like that. We jumped into business because honestly, we were realtors, real estate agents, good real estate agents that could not find what we were looking for in brokerage.
Interesting. So you decided that okay, I like this. This is going to pivot our conversation a little.
Let's go for it. No.
You determined that since you didn't find something in the space that worked for you all,
we're going to create it. Yeah.
What does that process look like though?
So no, really. So let's just kind of take it back to like not finding something, right? So we were, we had been through like 4 real estate brokerages before we decided to create our own. Some of them were really good. Some of them, not so good. We've experienced racism. Wow. We've experienced racism. We've experienced just not like a feeling of belonging. Yeah. But the main thing was why we created Braden Real Estate Group, because if you truly look at the dynamic or the history of the Black real estate brokerage, right? It's associated with a lot of affordable housing and things of that nature, and we want to help as many people as we can, right? Yeah. But we also wanted to create a space that we wanted to be in other spaces as well. Why can't we be in luxury? Yeah. Why can't we be in high end? Why can't we be in development? Why can't we be in commercial? Right? And why can't we be known as one of the top brokerages in any of those industries as well? Right.
So not pigeonhole yourself in only a certain few areas of real estate. You determine we can do it all. Right. And in order to do it all, you got to create it.
Absolutely. Because there was we could not find a brokerage that brand wise too, that we felt we were comfortable aligning with brand wise too. So when you see a lot of things of Braden Real Estate Group, we are very particular about the brand.
Oh, they are.
We're very, and that is for a reason, right? Because we could not find one single, even from little things like what the logo looks like. Am I comfortable putting this person's logo on my, on my stuff? Yeah. And we were not. So we were just like, screw this. It's done. We're going to create our own. Okay. And we never really had a recruiting strategy. We have now, right? Let me tell you something. We were good real estate agents. We sucked at being brokerage owners.
That's the hard part. Transitioning from being a sales-driven person as a agent to being a business operator as the broker?
It's totally different, you know, and it was a lot of growing pains.
Okay.
Like we had to bring in mentors, coaches, you know, and we still meeting with her tomorrow. You know, we meet with our coach every 2 weeks, like clockwork. Don't miss a meeting. You know, we don't, because it's so intricate and so key to the success of our business. You know, they really helped us shape up from being not profitable at all to being very profitable, you know, but it took work, and it is a shift in your mindset, your actions, the way you do everything. You cannot be the top performer and have a good, you know, running business.
Yeah, I mean, you were, you know, we were talking before we started, and you were asking me about, like, you know, what does the process look like being here, et cetera. And you mentioned top performer. Like, I attempt not to always be present. You need other people who can work the same system and maybe improve upon the system that you put in place. Have you found people that can intercede for you yet, fill the gap that you may be able to fill?
You know what? So I have a really good team of people.
Great.
Right? I have a really good team of people. I think sometimes it's me. I'm just being very transparent. I think sometimes it's me. Like, you know, you have to, a lot of business owners or people that stump their growth in business,
without question,
they don't do it like I do it. They don't do it exactly how it's not the Nicole way, or it's
y'all
not
hear this. I'm telling you, this is really important.
Seriously, right? So you know, and then you have to reflect and look at yourself. Did I train them effectively? You know, am I giving them all the necessary tools that they need to be successful, right? And you have to be comfortable with stepping away and being okay, right? But I've learned to, like, if you look at a lot of my stuff now, it's not me, it's I. Even if it's an individual content post or something like that, I still say the Nicole Handy team, I have to train, I'm retraining my audience to not look at Nicole as the individual agent, but to look at Nicole, the team. There's a team of great people behind me that makes all of this run together. Definitely. You know, and you might see my face a little more, but trust me, there is a team of phenomenal people that makes this ship stay afloat.
Exactly. So let's talk Nicole as the person now. How you got to where you are, because a lot of this storytelling is important for the next group of people who might be Braden, or might be Creators Guild, or might be Poor Horsemen, et cetera. What made you even get started in real estate? Now, I've got a funny backstory. When I first met Nicole with Jermisha, she said she was the top Black engineer from Prairie View.
Oh my God.
So all you other engineers from PV, she said, I'm the top Black engineer from Prairie View. You need to let me know if that's a fact.
Wait a minute.
We got a lot of you who listen.
Wait a minute. Let's tell the backstory behind the backstory. The backstory was, I was making a point saying that in this world of content and, you know, social media, you can be whoever you truly want to be.
That is true.
Right?
That is true.
You can be whoever you want to be.
You ruined the joke now, though. I didn't want to get a backstory.
No, don't have these people coming after me, okay? So I was making a point that you can be whoever you want to be.
Agreed.
So if I got on and said, hey, I'm the top Black engineer to ever graduate Prairie View.
And that's what she said, guys. She said that.
That's exactly what some people will believe.
Of course.
Right? You know what I'm saying? True. So it was a joke. We just saying, I was just making a point that you can't really be whoever you want to be.
Social media allows you to create an image of yourself that can be completely separate of what your real life situation is.
Absolutely.
I would agree with that. So, top Black engineer. Let's talk through, like, your process of getting from corporate to real estate to now owning Braid.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So I've had a real estate license since 2012.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I started my corporate career in 2008.
Okay.
4 years later, I got my real estate license. In 2019, so all this time I've had a real estate license for years and worked corporate. Real estate was my side hustle. It was good travel money, good savings money, you know, but it wasn't my form of taking care of myself and supporting my family, right? But so I'm a little weird. I can attest that I'm a little weird. I do get bored very easily.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
And so around every 4 to 5 year mark, if I'm not doing something different, I'm just like bored out of my mind.
So you know it. Like
I know.
You know the cycle.
I know. If you look at my cycle of career and life, every 5 years I've either switched jobs.
Wow.
You know? Done something different, added something completely new to my portfolio, you know, something like that. But I know that, you know, I know that I get bored easily. So, I started my corporate career at one company, left. I was in management consulting actually.
Okay.
And then so I left that company because I was bored and went to go do something else. Totally hated it. So I did it for about a year and I was like, I'm over this. And then I ended my career, but my last 6 years as a corporate professional was at Shell, the oil company.
Gotcha.
Great company, right? And I had a really big role in my opinion. You know, I made good money. You know, I managed really high technical solution for the entire North America. You know, so I had a really good paying role. It's just I got bored.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I got bored. And so I started looking for other ventures and other avenues. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna focus on real estate.
Okay.
And I'm going to focus on real estate. Now, the one thing I didn't have was this big sphere of influence. Like, I ain't come from money. You know, my mom's friends aren't rich where I can just go say, hey, let's go buy all this house. Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
But so what I started doing, I asked my company, could I go part-time?
Wow.
Because I knew they allowed that because that was like one of the things that they offered for people going on maternity leave and, you know, working their way back into full-time. So they told me no. You know, no, seriously, they told me no. And,
that's weird though. If you've seen it happen for other people,
they told me
why do you think the no happened to you?
Well, they said my role was too critical.
Wow. Okay.
You know.
Okay.
And so even in all that though, I didn't realize how much of an asset and how much value I brought to the company.
You didn't even know you had made yourself almost irreplaceable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. So I waited a couple of months. Hey, they told me I'm gonna try again.
Yeah.
You know, try again. They told me no again. So that second time they told me no, I had started kind of working my way into real estate, finding my groove in real estate and things like that. Again, I had a real estate license since 2012. Now, projected fast forward, we're talking about 2019, right? So I've actively bought and sold real estate for many years. So I knew the business. Okay. Right?
Okay.
But let me say this. I knew the transaction side of it.
Yeah. And we're going to go from your transition from transactional to the ownership side.
Right, right. So I knew the transactional side of it, right? So I knew the ins and outs of a transaction. Okay. Running the business was totally different, right? But I was getting by with day-to-day transactions. Right?
So you were working yourself to the bone then, basically.
Right. Because I would literally have Shell
that's what I was going to say, yeah.
And real estate here, and I would be at my Shell desk doing like this.
And not to mention you have a family.
Absolutely.
So how did all of that work?
So one day I said, hey, I want to go part-time.
Okay.
And they said no again. And I said, okay, well, today's the day that I quit.
Whoa.
And they said, whoa, you can go part-time. Right? But what that taught me is that you don't get what you ask for, you get what you negotiate.
That is true. That is a fact.
You know what I'm saying? You get what you negotiate, not what you ask for. So when I told them, well, you know, it's either this or nothing, then they were like, okay, no problem, you can go part-time. Okay. But what that allowed me to do was spend more time focusing on my full-time new real estate career. Yeah. And making Shell my part-time career.
Exactly.
Right. So that I was working in the capacity of a real estate agent full-time before I just cut it off.
So they didn't, and this is what a lot of people should do. You use your W-2 job.
Leverage the funds, leverage everything.
To fuel that entrepreneur journey.
I tell anybody that I don't believe in just jumping out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, well, some people can jump out.
Yeah, some people like chaos.
Right, but I'm not a chaotic person.
Yeah, some people prefer chaos.
I like nice things. I have grown lady bills. No, I'm dead serious. I do, so to cut off my income would cut off my lifestyle and, things like that. I do. Realistically, I like nice things. And like I said, I have real bills. Yeah. So it wasn't an option just to say, let me figure it out.
And some people will do that and they'll figure it out. And then some people will do it and not figure it out.
Right.
And that's kind of the scare tactic that corporations use to keep you at the job.
Right,
too.
absolutely, right? Yeah. That safety net, right?
That is, yeah.
Yeah, but I was really, it got to the point where I could no longer do real estate and work corporate anymore. I was the suckiest corporate employee you would ever meet.
So you quiet quit.
Yeah.
That's that new term where you're basically doing less and less.
And it got sad. This is when I'm like, okay, it has to be a wrap. And a week after this, I was like, hey, I'm just completely done. I had a meeting with my boss. Okay. At the time, he was in UK. In the UK, we were
multinational
in corporate too. Or I mean in COVID too.
Okay.
So like everybody was working from home. There was no going. So anyway, my boss was in the UK, and we had a meeting, like a status call, and he basically told me like, I'm very disappointed in you.
On the call in front of everybody?
No, it was just he and I.
Oh,
right?
okay.
No, it was just he and I,
Okay.
but he was like, he was like, no, his exact words were, "This is very disappointing," you know? And I'm like, you know what? This isn't me to leave this type of, leave this type of footprint wherever I go. So it's time for me to give it up.
Yeah.
And that's when I gave it up, and I have never looked back.
Okay.
I have never looked back.
So that was your transition to 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's break down a few terms for people, because again, on Academy, it may seem basic, but a lot of people may not even know the different parts of a business.
Right.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Especially on real estate. Everyone wants to put the camera on me for this one too, John. Everyone wants to be in real estate right now. Everyone. But they don't know where to start. We've had people come on the Academy that have talked about wholesaling. We've had people who've came on the Academy who are home builders. We've had realtors, but we've never had a broker.
Mm-hmm.
What is I'm asking you like I don't know.
Okay.
Can you explain what a brokerage does in comparison to all the other facets of real estate?
Yeah, absolutely. So with the real estate, Texas law, the Texas Real Estate Commission says every licensed agent that is not a broker must be sponsored by a broker that owns a brokerage, right?
Okay.
Must be sponsored by a broker, right? So the broker actually assumes all of the liability associated with that real estate agent performing real estate transactions.
Okay, so let's get in this camera again one more time. Her camera, John. Texas real estate requires a broker to do what again with the liability?
Assume all the liability of the actions of a real estate agent.
So if money is bad, the broker is responsible on the back end. Like let's say a transaction goes bad, the broker is responsible for
every real estate transaction is the agent acting on behalf of the brokerage.
And see, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
They think y'all just out here
willy-nilly.
That's why I wanted to have you on.
There's an extreme amount of risk and liability associated with sponsoring agents, especially on a larger scale. Number one.
You're over 80 agents now.
You ought to see what our insurance.
That was going to be my next question.
The cost of it is.
As a person who deals with a lot of P&L, insurance, a lot of details that make the business, you all have to be
tough with the. I mean, literally, funny we talk about this because it was just insurance renewal time.
It is
right?
this time.
Insurance renewal time, and what those insurance companies look at is the amount of agents you have and their production, right? How much income you're bringing in through them, commissions you're bringing in, and their production, right? The more that number grows, I mean, the higher the insurance cost is, but I mean, it's expensive either way.
So you're relying then on quality agents. One, not only to help you build the business,
right,
but two, to protect the business. Because if your agents are doing shady things,
right, absolutely,
you're doing shady things.
It's a joke in real estate, in the real estate world, amongst real estate brokerages. It's like, it's not when you're going to get sued. It's not if you're going to get sued. It's when, right?
Wow, that's tough.
Yeah. So real estate is a huge liability, And the crazy part about it, if you look at what it takes to get a real estate license,
it's nothing.
Hairstylists.
That's what I was going to say. It's nothing.
Have to go about 1,000 more hours.
Yeah, barbers have more hours than
real estate professionals. Yeah.
Man, I never thought about that. So we're learning something today, just around the differences when you're the business owner in a real estate transaction.
Right. So if just say an individual agent goes out there and does something incorrect, that causes a need for litigation, it's the brokerage responsibility, and not necessarily so that particular agent.
So you heavy on training then, I can imagine.
We are heavy on training, and again, something we had to learn as brokerage owners. Seriously, that's something we had to learn as brokerage owners too, because like I said, we were great transactional realtors.
Yeah.
You tell me ask me how to write up a contract and get an individual client to the closing table, hands down, could do it with my eyes closed.
Okay.
Running a whole brokerage of agents, making sure they are properly trained, retained,
because they can leave after giving them all the tools.
Absolutely. Trained, retained, making sure that you're not caught up in some major lawsuit, and protecting your brand and image is a lot.
Man, that's tough. Yeah. So let's piggyback off of that then. We know what a brokerage is, but now that you're almost out, are you still selling? Are you still a realtor also, or what does that look like for you and your co-CEO as well?
Yes.
What does that look like for y'all?
So my co-CEO was just like, no, I'm not doing it. So she just 100% runs the, is a true broker. So
Okay.
I'm not the broker of the brokerage. She is.
Okay.
So honestly, she takes actually a little bit more liability than me.
Wow.
Because she is the actual sponsoring broker.
Understand.
Yeah, right. So she has the broker's license.
Okay.
But I have not fully given up transactions yet. I'm not in it as much as I should.
Okay.
But let's just be very transparent. It's been difficult for me to be such the face of everything,
Which I would say you are.
Right.
Yeah, I would say you are. Yeah.
When I started in real estate, I did use content to fuel my real estate career. I was like, let me get in front of every camera I possibly can, social media, everything. And it did explode my real estate business. I will not lie about that. I tested that. Now, mind you, of course, I got a little something up here too.
Without question.
Right. But, I did use content and content creation as a way to fuel my real estate business. And it really took off more than I could actually handle. Which is why we created the Nicole Handy team, because Nicole Handy couldn't manage all the business by herself.
Now I get why the teams come into play.
Right.
That makes sense now. Okay. That was going to be my next question too.
Right. So for a while, it was Nicole Handy, the realtor.
I remember
and that's what everybody has seen for the past 2 or 3 years, right? So transitioning to get people to understand like, hey, it's Nicole Handy, the broker, the team, right? Nicole Handy and team that's still going to take excellent care of you. I still oversee everything. They still follow a lot of my practices, policies, procedures, and so on, right? I'm still in the process of training my audience to get that and understand it, because I do still have some people that will call and say, well, I know you got a team, but I don't really want you. Right?
Yeah.
So that's the difficult part. So I am not 100% out of transactions. My ideal role at the Brayton Real Estate Group would just be training agents all day long to do what I've created. Do what I've done, right? But I'm not there yet. But I do want to be there. Yeah, absolutely.
So next 5 years, what do you see for Brayton?
Oh my gosh.
Hey, next 5 years.
I see Brayton national.
Okay.
Even maybe international, global.
Okay.
I know we have an office in Houston now, Dallas. I see us being one of the top, believe it or not, the top real estate brokerages for real estate content creation.
No, we're going to put that in the universe right now that you are the top.
Well,
there's no reason to.
That's true.
We're not in the business of trying. You're gonna do it. We've seen the steps that you've taken to this point. There's no reason to think that you're gonna stop now.
Right, and I'm not saying I'm looking to sell Brayton Real Estate Group, but I do see us being approached by major companies and corporations looking to acquire us.
Yeah, so there's an acquisition opportunity as well.
Right.
Yeah, you don't think about that, because the more you grow, the more the biggest of the big fish come downstream and say, what? Why don't I try to buy this one?
Right, and then just being honest, we never woke up and said we want to be the biggest black brokerage is this, or known for being the black brokerage is this, but we are black people.
Of course.
So we are known as a black brokerage, and
Without
I'm totally okay with that.
Without question.
And when you look at some of these major companies that look to meet their diversity quota,
y'all would be a nice fit.
Right.
Yeah.
We would be a nice fit. Not only are we black owned, we're women owned.
Okay. Next 5 years for you.
Woo!
Come on. Next 5 years.
Totally out of production. Totally out of real estate sales.
Okay.
Having a large production scale team across multiple cities.
Okay.
I will definitely have some type of national real estate training and coaching course.
Okay.
And then after 3:00, you probably won't find me.
Oh, so you work in those dentist office hours?
Absolutely. Absolutely. What is it? 11 to 3.
Yeah, that's what
not on Fridays.
Yeah, not on Fridays. You work in those hours.
Me,
okay.
That would be me. Hopefully that would be me. But no, I want to. I do also want to create opportunities for people of color, minorities that don't feel like they can be in certain spaces because they didn't grow up in those spaces. So maybe like a luxury academy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I want them to feel comfortable being in those spaces. And I'm speaking from someone who wasn't comfortable being in those spaces. You know, it was a point in time like, I'll probably just be cool with selling.
I mean, you telling me that the top black engineer from Prairie View was not comfortable in the luxury spaces? I'm not
well, I mean, you know, if it's something you've never done before, you know, sometimes things it can be a little bit intimidating.
It can be.
You know, and I'm not gonna sit here and say like, hey, I'm the biggest and the baddest, because I am still intimidated by some things, you know. But the difference between me and others is that I don't let the intimidation stop me.
Okay.
Right? I'm just gonna push through it. Now you might never know.
But you are. But you are pushing through it. Yeah.
But you might not know I'm truly working. It's taking everything in my soul to push through it, but I'm gonna push through it.
Okay, let's give the 10-year younger you some advice. And that might be a person who is new into real estate.
Absolutely.
New in the game. But let's think back to when you were, you know, you said 2012. So let's go 10 years younger you. Yeah. What would you tell a new person entering into the space, ambition, goals, and dreams that they have? What would you say?
Learn from other people's mistakes, hands down.
Okay.
Find you a real estate coach or mentor early.
Okay.
I always say we spent a lot of time figuring it out.
Of course.
You know, and I'll be honest, the last 2 years haven't been figuring it out because of our coach. But before that, it was a lot of figuring it out. Even small things like, how do we pay people? What do we pay people? What's the percentage? You know, what's the national average? I mean, the local average for this. So, you know, them things like just what systems do we use, right? You know, so I honestly would be a real estate tycoon right now had I not spent 7 years of my real estate career figuring it out. You know, so invest in your training, coaching, and development. And I say this all the time. We go to school, we'll spend $100,000 on a university education.
Straight up.
Right? But we will not take and invest any money in what we're actively doing in the moment.
No, that's a fact. Like a lot of people, they think once they have the job or what they're doing, they're comfortable.
Well, but honestly, look at how many people have degrees and aren't working in those degrees at all.
That's probably the majority.
Right? You know what I'm saying? That's probably the majority. And like right now, social media is like really flipping that all the way upside down because...
But social media tell you don't need a job at all. You need to just go out and...
it's perception though, right? Yeah.
That is true.
But nowadays, this is what our younger generation is seeing, the perception. I don't have to get a job. I don't have to have an education. I don't have to go, you know, aspire to have a career, you know, because I can just take a couple of photos, put them out there and get paid, you know. But, you know, and not downing anybody that is a content creator because that is very much so. I've learned from working with my content creator clients, it is a very demanding career.
And it is a career.
You know, so I'm not knocking that at all. You know, and honestly, I feel like one day content creation will be a curriculum.
Without question.
In school.
And I hope I'm a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, straight up.
I hope y'all see me in the curriculum textbook, you know.
All right, last thing. This is the most important. It's always my surprise question for every guest. So if you had $10,000 just liquid, we're going to recommend to someone, let's say someone walked in right now, they're meeting with you, hey, I've got $10,000. What should they do to enhance their situation? That could be related to real estate. That could be related to creating content. That could be related to creating a profile. What would you recommend to someone if they had $10,000 right now, ready to invest in themselves or something else to build themselves?
So I would say, hands down, take that money and find someone to build out your entire, pay somebody to build out your entire process and system flow that you're just operating.
That's a new answer. We haven't got that. So you say build the systems that'll save you time.
I am a believer in paying people for their expertise.
And it costs money to do that.
It costs money to do that. I was not a real estate brokerage owner, right? That was not my expertise. I paid somebody to give me the playbook.
And then from there, you're implementing what you paid.
You have to implement, right? You have to do it. But to give me the entire playbook, I paid somebody for that, and it was worth every single dime.
We've had different answers every time for the 10,000. That's the first time I've had, because I tend to be a systems person.
Pay somebody for the playbook, right? But that's their systems as well. Pay somebody for the playbook.
Yeah.
No matter what you've done in life, somebody else has already done it and mastered it.
That's true. And information is in a book. Now they may be in a podcast.
Right.
They could be in other formats. You can find the information, but chances are you probably have to pay
to play.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a fact. Yeah. All right. Where can people find you? All that good stuff again if they're interested in knowing more
Absolutely. So anybody can find me on social media. I am all over Instagram. My Instagram handle is Mrs. MRS Nikki Nikki Handy. If you just click the link in my bio, it will take you to my email, my phone number. Also, if you're looking for me on Facebook, it's Nicole Handy Real Estate. If you're looking for me on LinkedIn, it's simply Nicole Handy. So like I said, I'm all over social media. Click the link in my bio and it'll give you multiple channels on how to connect with me.
And we'll have the link in this episode description on all the podcast streaming apps, as well as on the Poor Horseman YouTube. So that has been the Academy with the top Black engineer.
Can you stop saying that? Because if somebody's watching a portion of this,
they will. Trust me. I know some people right now that are like, hold on, we got to validate that. So with the top Black engineer, I'm just playing. Thank you so much again. It has been my pleasure. Thank you so much for making the time. And that's been episode 11 of the Academy. We're out.